read Parshah of Kedoshim this week in Yeshiva conveyed an incredible idea based on a Chazal. Just really, when you think about this, the basic commandment of Kedoshim Tiyu is an incredible tzivui. Clearly, we're not talking about a small segment of the Jewish people. V'daber Shem Moshe daber el kol hadas b'nei Yisrael. V'yamat alem Kedoshim Tiyu ki kadosh ani Hashem Elokechem. Just this, the basic message of what Kedusha is, of this word that sort of connotes certainly a very high level. And how you learn Pshat, whether it's Rashi, which is also incredible, that have a Prushim and Arayas. Kedoshim Tiyu have a Prushim and Arayas. Shkol Mokom Shatamot Together, Erev Atamot Kedusha. Whether you learn Rashi, that it's not just, it's referring to this notion of separating from Arayas, which, what does that mean? Does that mean that I just separate from Arayas, I can do other things, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be Kadosh? Kedoshim Tiyu have a Prushim and Arayas. Rashi's saying that when you Prushim and Arayas, when you're able to create a separation from those areas, that allows automatically for Kedusha to emerge. If a person could do that, you can find that strength to create the borders and create the boundaries to separate from the taivas and from the temptations of the world. That allows Kedusha to emerge. Kedoshim Tiyu. Or whether you learn like the Ramban, where it's about sort of the fifth Shulchan Aruch, the idea of understanding that it's not about sort of using the loopholes of the Torah to get around what maybe is not prohibited, but certainly not within the spirit of the Torah. Kedoshim Tiyu, you have to not be a novel b'shus Torah, not to overindulge in things that maybe technically are permissible, but it leads to an involvement in things that are definitely, that bring a person down. Kedoshim Tiyu, separate, get it an idea of separation, but for the Ramban, it's even in things, and certainly we look around, you see what goes on sometimes. You can say that drinking is not technically prohibited, or overeating is not technically prohibited, or over-involvement with one's wife is not technically prohibited, but the person gets into that mindset where sort of taiva overcomes them and becomes the focus of their lives. While there might not be a technical prohibition, that is an impediment to Kedoshim Tiyu. So whatever angle one embraces about what are the stepping stones to Kedusha, certainly Kedusha is a state that connotes an incredible level. It's at the very end of the Mesilas Yesharim, and yet it's Darbel Kol Das B'nei Yisrael. So much so, and the Yeshiva pointed out, the Medrash says that Yachol Kameini, I might think within the framework of Kedoshim Tiyu, you should be holy. After all, because it says Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokechem, so maybe I might think that you can actually reach the Kedusha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can actually reach that Madrega. The message is Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem. I'm the source of the Kedusha, so I'm not asking you to be as holy as me, but I am being mitzvah you. I'm commanding you to be in that direction, to sort of see that as not just something that you should aspire to, but something that's attainable, something that's literally within your grasp to do, because it's a tzivui, and it's to kol hadas b'nei Yisrael. So the Yeshiva pointed out that Yachol, I might think that you should be as holy as me. I'm the source of the Kedusha, so you're not going to be as holy as me, but you should be holy. So it's such a havamina. There's such a havamina that I'm going to be as holy as HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Do I need a medrash? Do I need a pasuk to sort of negate that potential thought process? It's incredible. And Torah says you do, because we don't really understand. Again, we sell ourselves short. We don't really understand the innate potential of the person, of the human being, of the Jew, to have the neshama that we have and the ability that we have to strive to greater heights. And again, it doesn't mean necessarily a career choice of spending one's life learning Torah all day. The very end of the Mesilas Yesharim talks to people whether you're learning Torah or whether you're a balabas, or no matter what you might do, the highest levels of Kedusha are available to anyone. It's a question of an attitude of how one lives their lives, how one calculates their day, and how one commits to spiritual growth. The idea of working on oneself and the mussar that one needs to learn. So we see the incredibly powerful point that first of all, it's attainable. Number one, that it's something that we could reach, it's something that we could aspire to, and the two doors that the Rishonim open up to us are both doors that clearly are within our grasp. That but they need a specific focus. Number one, have a prushim and arayis, which is Rashi Pshat. Whether it be, let me take a look, am I overindulging? Am I overly focused on those permissible things? Is my life consumed, even though I'm not maybe doing any prohibitions, but is my life consumed with physicality? And a focus of just being a gluttonous type of person, a person who is just taking in of the physical world. I can argue that I haven't broken any isurim, I haven't broken any deraises. What have I done that's wrong? But if the person, Rachmana litzlan, is a novel b'shus haTorah, that is taken away from the obligation that we have. So the fact that it's attainable, the fact that not only is it attainable, and not only that, it is obligatory upon us to pursue these two avenues, to look at these two avenues as avenues that we absolutely have to, look at and connect to. And again, Prushim and Arayis in today's world is so much misconceptions and so much misunderstanding, so much lacking of an awareness of what's proper in terms of Prushim and Arayis, of separating oneself from all types of temptations and environments, and this whole Shomanegia issue and the whole socializing issue, which again, there's so much laxity that is out there, and yet we need to know that this is Prushim and Arayis. This is exactly what the Torah is talking about by Kedoshim to you. But it's even more than that. It's to recognize that if the Chazal can say Yochel Kamoni, that there is a Havamina to think. We go back to Bereshis, where the Malach HaShoris, when Adam Risha was made and it was created, the Malach HaShoris were confused. Who do I pray to? I have a Kadosh Baruch Hu to pray to on one hand, but I see this incredible being called Adam Rishon, and I'm not sure. In a way, I guess the confusion, I think the Chazal say the confusion is because here you have this incredible being that combines physicality with spirituality, and then it's so confusing because yes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mekar of all Kedusha, but so there's a Havamina to think. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure who's the deity in front of me. That's how far our greatness really goes. And when a person recognizes that, when a person is able to tap into that recognition of who they are, of what they can accomplish, of how they can impact the world, and how Kedusha is something that is not only attainable but actually part of our responsibility. This is our mandate to be Kedoshim to you. And Be'ez Hashem, it'll give us a tremendous chizuk to understand, to recognize our abilities, to recognize our potential, to tap into it, and using both avenues of the Ramban and of Rashi, Be'ez Hashem will go Mechoyel Choyel, and that's Chus B'Zeicha to be as HaMashiach Me'er.